Hey guys, I'm back at Play Ball today, and I'm going to bring you a throwing routine that you can do at home over the next couple weeks to help maintain the arm strength that you've built up this off season, as well as promote some arm safety and arm health once we're able to get outside again. This is a throwing program that we do throughout the off season with our teams, part of every practice, to help not only learn some good movement patterns for throwing, but also to steadily build up arm strength over the course of the off season. So if you're new to us and you're just going to start this for the first time, the most important thing that you need to keep in mind right now is to start slow. We don't want to create any arm problems or any arm injuries, so learn the movement patterns first, take your time with that, and then as those patterns start to become easier, those movements start to become easier, then you're going to start to amp it up, add a little bit more lower body into it, and then start to really push it with our arms. For our guys that are used to this program, we've been going at a pretty high level for the last few weeks, but we have to keep in mind that we've had a couple weeks off. So don't get back to full speed right away. Take a few days to build back up, and then once you're feeling good, then we can start pushing it again. If you don't have a bucket of baseballs at home and a net to throw into, take some time to get creative. Just like we talked about setting up a space to work on our hitting, this is our time to set up a space to work on our throwing. So if you don't have a space in the garage, go in the basement. If it's okay with mom and dad, set up a pillow on the couch. Throw wiffle balls or even a balled up pair of socks against the pillow. Set up a pillow on your bed, but make sure you're safe. Don't get us in trouble with mom and dad if you start breaking stuff in the basement, but be creative. There's ways to do this if you don't have your normal setup. If you don't have baseballs, just keep intent in mind. If you're throwing a pair of socks, a wiffle ball, a tennis ball, that's fine, but that's a different weight than a baseball, so let's just make sure that we're doing it at a safe rate. We're not pushing it too hard to the point where we're getting sore. And if you have any questions at all about how you're doing it or if you're doing it right, send us a video, send us a message. We'll help you out and make sure that you're doing it safely, so that everyone's feeling good once we're able to get back to normal and we're able to get outdoors. So again, be safe. Stay tuned to our videos every day. I'm going to send out a workout for our second day here in a little bit, and keep getting after it, guys. Take care. All right, our first drill is called Walkthroughs. For coaches watching this, for guys at other academies watching this, we're not doing anything groundbreaking, but what we want to do is make sure that we're doing this in a safe and healthy way, especially for guys that aren't used to doing these drills. So the first drill that we're trying to do, we're trying to accomplish a couple things. Number one, get warmed up. Number two, we're going to make sure that we get our legs underneath us. And number three is we're going to work on a directional step. So all we're going to do for this one, we're going to get squared up to our target. Right now I'm throwing into a catch net with a command trainer in front of it. If you don't have that at home, like I said, be creative. And all we're going to do here is work on getting our feet underneath us at a nice easy pace. Just like the name says, we're going to walk it out and we're going to work on throwing to our target. The big thing here with the directional step is to make sure that we're gaining ground with both of our steps and getting lined up with our target. When most guys start to go through the motions on this one, a lot of times they'll just pick that foot up, set it down. We're not gaining any ground, we're not clearing everything out, and guys are going to end up standing up and missing arm side. So when we're doing this one, we're just thinking about staying loose, staying light, free and easy, walking it out, getting out in front to our target. We call our second drill step behinds. For this one, we're going to stay lined up to our target. I'm going to stagger my front foot out in front of my back foot. I'm going to square myself up. And on this one, I want to make sure I set up with my shoulders turned slightly in. All I'm going to do is make sure that back foot clears way behind my front foot, forcing my hips to turn in while I keep my shoulder in line. And now as I continue my footwork, it's naturally going to make sure that my lower body opens before my upper body. I stay out in front, finish to my target. With this one, we tend to pick it up from a warm-up, and as we start to build up a little bit, we start to move our feet a little bit faster. So once you get comfortable with this drill, we're going to go from a walking rhythm to more of a curl hop speed, where we're starting to really get our feet moving with a little more intent and working on getting our body going to our target while our hips and shoulders are able to naturally work on creating separation. And these ones again are called step behinds. Our third drill is called turn and goes, and it's typically the most difficult for guys to pick up at first because it's not a natural movement pattern. We're going to start with our back to our target, and my lead leg is going to be the same foot that I throw with. So I'm going to go with my left foot first. It's going to go straight back to my target, and now I'm going to make sure that I follow to my glove side, allowing my lower body to open up before my upper body does. And as I turn to my target, I'm gonna work on making sure I go from a rotational movement to a linear movement as I finish out in front. A lot of guys have trouble with once they start turning, they want to continue turning past their target and they bury that throw down to their glove side. So what we want to make sure that we're working on here is turning correctly so our lower body goes first, and then once we turn, forcing our body to stabilize out in front as I get to my target. Again, start this one slow, learn the movements in the footwork first, and then once we get going, this is when we want to push it, because the harder we're able to work backwards, the more it's going to force my upper body to accelerate, and that's where we start to pick up some arm strength. So once I get to full speed, I'm going to jump back, follow my glove, finish out in front, and my body's again naturally learning the right movement patterns to help take some pressure off of my arm as I start to build some strength. Our last drill goes by a couple different names. We call them curl hops, but a lot of guys call them run and guns or pull downs. What we're trying to do here is get the body moving. So I want to make sure I get my lower body going as hard as I can, and this is where we're going to start to amp it up and work on the arm strength side of things. So I'm going to get step back so I can get in the shot. I'm going to get my lower body going, get my legs into it, get a curl hop, finish out in front to my target. The big thing here is to make sure that when I finish, I give my arm time to naturally decelerate. When we do our stretches, we do a stretch that we call Supermans, where we either go down to the floor and work on stabilization, or we stretch out. What that allows our guys to do is get comfortable getting into this position where their arm has time to naturally decelerate, so we don't cut it off and hurt our biceps. When you're doing any of these drills, let's make sure we're promoting getting out in front, letting that arm go nice and free and easy versus cutting it off.